I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And
the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't run one issue, change the back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 943 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling, and we got new gear, guys. Ooh, I'm feeling myself. Anyways, at Sorgatron Media Studios. Did I say that part? I don't know. I got distracted by this stuff. Yeah, I got new gear. The new swag is in. If you're on the video version, you might have seen in the pre-roll the new commercial we'll be running here at the break as well. So shop.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we have with us, first of all, on the line, one of my Rumble watching buddies this weekend, the Riz.
I didn't get any merch.
Well, listen, I got the sample to know it was okay before I even showed you it existed. Okay. We had this is the sample. This is the high-end thing. I figured we start with that.
I'm hearing I just got bigger treatment than you. That's all. That's all I hear.
Okay.
That's all I hear.
Okay. We'll work on
Start
that.
with conflict already.
Yeah.
Perfect for a wrestling podcast, right? Also, with hear that voice, it's the big boss, Glenn Spector.
Oh, I like the delay on that. That was good. There was a nice. Well, I like a palpable wait and then boom, deliver.
That means I got confused myself and almost said a different name.
Oh, geez, that would have been then we would have had conflict
because it's been a long day.
Yeah, what up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
How you doing?
I love that. What's that say in the corner?
Hire Glenn.
Yeah,
I had a note here from our agent or intern or something that I had to put that contractually obligated was the term that was used.
Hashtag hire Glenn. Let's get Glenn a wrestling job.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's the theme of tonight's episode.
Yes. Now a regular contributor. Riz, what's the rule for honorary co-host? Is it 4 appearances on the show?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, you are 1 away. We're about to. You're 1 away on your punch card from becoming what was it? Honorary co-host.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is like your 3rd time.
No, this is my 4th time.
No,
it is
bullshit.
It is. Devil Budokan Book Show. Me by myself. Me with the Troublemakers tonight.
Show. Were you remote or something? Is that what
I was remote.
Oh man, you slipped it in there. You slipped it in there. Look at
Phrasing.
you.
Are we still doing that?
Yeah, we're still doing that, especially on this show. This is one where we let loose. I forgot about that. That's right.
So I didn't know that was a thing. I like this is my kid just became a yellow belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they don't tell you when they're going to do that. It just happened tonight. It was a surprise. This is the 2nd surprise. I'm now honorary co-host of the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm excited.
We don't have much more celebration than letting you.
I was expecting balloons maybe to come down.
No, this is pretty much it. I mean,
do you got a White Claw back?
I don't have a White Claw back here. We drank all those the other day. I got a colored marker for you to sniff.
Awesome.
Maybe.
Can I sign the wall?
No, God. I'm still here. My wife is still pissed about that. So. And that was back on episode 800. So, there's that. So, anyways. We're gonna have fun with Glenn tonight. It's probably gonna go way too long as usual. But anyways, I do want to touch base, of course, and get some reactions. The Royal Rumble was this past weekend, which we absolutely did not preview last week on the show. We did a quick round.
On the Patreon.
Quick round on. Did we talk
no,
about
we
a
did
Patreon?
A quick round.
We
no,
did a quick round of predictions, which I think I got on the TikTok this week. And that was it. But we're gonna make up for it by starting talking about the Rumble. First of all, the biggest one is Charlotte winning the Rumble.
Okay.
Bobby F. J-Town's not mad about it. We brought out the Charlotte 40 Show's ska song that was made on this show like 4 or 5 years ago when it was Charlotte 40 Shows. And then Bobby F. J-Town's like, I'm not even mad this time. Because we basically made a song, Matt Carlin's made a song in stylings of ska, and half of the lyrics were tweets that Bobby F. J-Town ranting on Twitter about Charlotte being on every show back then.
So first off, I thought the Rumble was pretty great.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, very entertaining. But with the Charlotte Flair thing, obviously, look, like the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, we is there a more ignominious designation? Like, honestly, no. But like, people are gonna, like, you're always gonna hear the negative people the most. Here's the thing about Charlotte Flair, though, and you have to look at it from a perspective of making money, putting on a good show, yada yada. Like, Charlotte Flair is incredibly consistent. Delivered one of the best, possibly the best WrestleMania women's match of all time with Rhea Ripley. Is it a bad choice to have her be co-main event of WrestleMania? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's like, once again, it's like, if they're going to take a risk, if people like want, people were the kind of the opposite, I guess, with Jimmy Uso, right? Where like they're like, oh, they're capitalizing on right now. He's white hot, but he's also, like he hasn't been put in this kind of main event position. I mean, he's been in main events, but not at this level where it's for the world title and all that stuff. If you're going to take a chance in that regard, I still don't think you're taking a chance. I think he's going to kill it.
Oh, I think.
But if you're going to take a chance in one regard, then having somebody who consistently delivers like Charlotte on the other end, it seems like smart booking to me.
I think, they've been testing waters with Jay for a bit. Obviously, him coming up, he was a main event on SummerSlam. Because actually, I pulled out for Rumble that day. I pulled out like, oh, I got a Jey Uso and Roman Reigns T-shirt, Tribal Combat. And I was like, oh, this was from 2 years ago in Detroit SummerSlam, right? So he's been main event for a bit, just never won the big one.
And main event in tags as the Usos.
Absolutely.
And those were big, great matches too.
Now I feel like they tested the waters again, and I think this was kind of the intro into this. He had a match with Gunther at Saturday Night's main event recently. Lost in that, so now it's like he has that to overcome, right? Obviously everybody's doing their Royal Rumble tour. Will they? Won't they? BS this week. And like Charlotte's on NXT tonight. Okay, and they've done that before, I know, but still, I don't believe it for an instance. I think it's going to be Charlotte and Rhea is the obvious choice here. Just like I really think Jay and Gunther is the obvious choice. Cody has way bigger things he could be doing coming out of that Elimination Chamber. I feel with that. I think a Cody Cena, Cody Punk, Cody Seth, or however that ends up, is going to be the moneymaker match of the weekend. Obviously,
I think Cena has to be a part of it, and it's one of those things where I thought the elimination was great. It shows you how much like. He does. We had talked one time when I was on the show about wrestlers who can do a lot without doing a lot. You know what I mean? Where they have such great expressions and stuff like that. His facial expression when he was eliminated was so perfect. I could, even if you're like a Cena fan, you couldn't be mad.
You know what? It's the same expression when you go through the McDonald's drive-thru right now. Have you seen this? No, he's in the commercials. He's a spokesperson.
Yeah.
And when you do your order, him in his like that sweater or whatever, holding like a Big Mac or something, comes up on the screen and says, "Good job, you did it." Or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like emotional support. John Cena is applauding your McDonald's order on the big screen in the drive-thru right now.
Okay,
which
that's
is
amazing.
So weird because I don't think he's eating much McDonald's.
No. Well,
I mean, dude's got cheat days. He's got cheat days.
I was about to say,
so,
like,
he's all about the cheat days.
I work out every day, but I will tell you, there's definitely, here's the thing. People don't know this. You can go to McDonald's. You can get anything without the bun. Like, you can, you actually can. There's a whole lot of stuff you can do in fast food to try to like mitigate some of the harm. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it every day regardless, but there are a lot of ways around the especially like I said, what is it? I think McDonald's bread is classified as cake in Europe because it's got it has so much sugar in it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So like.
So, I lost my train of thought on that one. I'm sorry.
I threw you way off. We went way off road. We're talking about the great reactions to, and also just the weird, like I said, it's very strange because in some ways, I felt like the Royal Rumble gave everybody everything they kind of wanted, or at least had been pretending they wanted, and then when they got it, in classic wrestling fashion, everybody was like, "Oh, actually, I don't want this."
And again, I want to make clear, like when you see that, like, oh, the internet was pissed. a different it's a different part of the internet speaks up, you know.
Right.
It's like it's not like the people turned. It's like, no, the angry people are louder right now, and that's what's in your feed because it's what the positive people are responding to, which elevates that more. It's just how algorithms
and the ratings
work,
and the attendance play this out every
absolutely.
time.
You if you've ever had the opportunity to be in an arena, let alone a stadium, the first time I saw this, and I think it's when it was just breaking with Jay, when the entire crowd was doing the
yeet,
the
oh my
yeet
God,
with him.
it's crazy.
Like seeing,
Dude, other wrestlers, that's one of the coolest things is like this is where like we're all actually marks. Like other wrestlers, they had candid video of some of the other wrestlers doing the yeet thing in the back. It was awesome.
Like, I've been to concerts, I've been to big festivals, I've been to all this stuff, and you know, like one of my favorite things about like wrestling shows, like Zeke's always like, why are you in the mosh pit? Because like I want to feel the fucking crowd. That's why I love being at wrestling. That's why I love being at MMA. I want to be in the crowd. I want to be an attendee, behind production, whichever. I just want to feel that shit. And very few things have I seen. God, what was it? 40,000, 50,000 people between Cleveland and, well, no, we didn't get them in Cleveland last year. I think we were supposed to. But we had them in the main event of SummerSlam, and seeing that, and then seeing the views they have, you know, of those stadiums, like 65 or whatever thousand in Indianapolis. Like that is like, you can't tell me. You know, and you're like, well, LA Knight has a great reaction. Why isn't he getting over? I was like, Jay's been there longer. He is the proven. He's the proven. And LA Knight has got great stuff going on.
Yeah, he does.
But,
and my only worry about LA Knight is I just always, as a person, you know, like as a person who's not the youngest guy in the wrestling room either. Like, I just feel like, God, man, I wish they would capitalize on this guy's greatness before. You know, like, not that I mean, like, look, dude, he's in tremendous shape. He still can jump up to the top rope to do a superplex.
Oh my God.
Like
a dude that big,
and
you know?
I don't see him fading anytime soon, but I'm just saying in the same regard, though, once again, with the Uso thing, they are getting him. They're actually, like I said, it's one of those things like people were like, is Triple H going to listen to the fans? You know what I mean? Yeah. Dude, they're getting him when he's peaking. They're not dropping. Yeah. They are not dropping the ball on this. I think that's something to be happy about.
And he, you know, I think he's definitely in the secondary. I can't see him against Cody or anything like that. I think he's the secondary main event, you know, world title or whatever. But, you know, that's still, you know, if he gets this thing, it could be bigger. It's like Kofi Mania level.
Right. And here's the other thing. Remember the promos he had done a little while back and how great they were? Like, that's the other thing. He's really proven himself. You got to give him credit. He's done the work. Like, but I, you know, like, once again, I don't think it's over for LA Knight.
No. No.
And of course, when we talk about crowd reactions at Royal Rumble, let's not forget, say his name and he appears. Dude, how about a guy from TNA has an entire WWE crowd chanting his song? I wish the only thing that would have made that better is if he had milked the entrance so they could do the wave your arms.
Yeah.
So, like, if he had gotten the crowd to do that, oh my God.
Because previously he has only been on he did vie for the NXT Championship at one of their pay-per-views. I don't even know if that was outside of Orlando, right? It could have been. My fact checker in Seattle is going to check on that here in a moment. Speaking of which, I should get to the chat room real quick and see what's going on. Tina from Seattle, the mother of dragons herself. Hasn't that always been the way, though, with the IWC? The small, angry section is always the loudest. Yes, in every version of IWC, I know. The average mainstream fan don't really vocalize to that capacity and just enjoy the show. Yeah, it's just a lot of people picking up on that kind of stuff. So, but yeah.
I mean, look, we need all the fans, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, everybody that buys a ticket has some value. And if you buy a ticket, you're allowed to have an opinion, don't get me wrong. But I do think that a lot of times there's a lot of squeaky wheels out there that if you kind of followed that as opposed to who's happy with the show, you'd be in big trouble.
And if we were talking like that, we'd have a lot more views than we have now. Let's be clear on that too. You know, but we just don't do that kind of show.
Well, I actually like wrestling. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, actually enjoy what we're doing and viewing and everything like that. What is this situation?
How many times have we gone out or gone to a movie, like an actual movie theater, and then walked out and went, That was still bullshit. This is how I would have done it. This is stupid.
Actually, that was
And
me
it's like-
after Mufasa.
Sorg. Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
hard sell.
like,
yeah.
But that's one time, right?
Dogman, on the other hand,
So
no notes.
okay, good. But like, you don't go out there and like tweet up a storm or Blue Sky a storm or Facebook a storm.
I think
Be
it's
like,
a
this
skeet.
is-
I think it's a skeet. I'm not skeeting up a storm, Riz, over on Blue Sky.
Can we say
You're
that?
not
Is
skeeting
that-
everywhere?
is that-
I
is
don't
that-
know. The CEO of Blue
you-
Sky said
are
it,
you not
so if she
skeeting
can say it, I
everywhere?
can say it. I think it's all of our word now.
I don't.
Okay, good.
I don't think that word means what you guys think it means.
No, yeah, I don't. But like, you're not going on there when you see a movie, when you see something like that millions of people are seeing,
Yeah.
and just like trashing it. You paid
Actually,
your
a
money,
lot of people do. A lot of people fucking
think
do.
a lot of
That's a
people do.
problem.
I'm way more.
That's true.
I once again, I'm way more willing. Like like I said, movies. It's weird. Like there's definitely more stuff I trash for sure.
I
Okay.
like wrestling.
Yeah.
I also like bad
Yeah.
movies. Like I like watching bad wrestling. I like watching bad
Well,
movies.
let's be honest. There's nothing better than bad wrestling.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I would have been at that midget wrestling show a couple weekends ago if it wasn't like $30 a ticket and they sold out day of. So like I'm here for like this is gonna be god awful, but I'm here for it.
Look, we
I love it.
Who here isn't subscribed to Botchamania?
Yeah.
Yes.
go.
That is a celebration of the
And
art form.
and the rival now, Promo Joe, who I also
What
think
is this?
You don't know about Promo Joe?
Tell me about this.
Promo Joe is another YouTube channel that does a very similar thing to Botchamania. I'm sure some people think it's a Botchamania ripoff channel, but he got his own angle. He's had a few. There's been a few signs on AEW shows
that
and things
him?
like that. Yep.
Promo Joe at Promo Joe
Hey,
on the YouTube.
Promo Joe, follow me or something. I
There
just
you
gave you
go.
a free plug.
Promo Joe, hire Glenn.
There we go. Hashtag
Promo Joe,
hire
you-
Glenn.
There you
You'll
go.
get
You
like
can
a
be an
VHS
editor.
tape
You can be
soon.
editorial or over there. You know, hey, we'll do the Botchamania. Like, it's like, hey, this is Glenn Spector, and you're watching Promo Joe.
There you go.
No,
Yeah,
look right into the camera. We'll send it to him with all
This
of our.
is Big Boss Glenn Spector, and you're watching Promo Joe.
There you go. We'll send it to him. There you go.
Get it on there.
We're gonna keep our tags in the corner though.
That guy, yeah, he's got his own little growing following because he's
Okay.
he's doing another, like, you know, it's the same kind of thing. He's kind of developing like a the you know, like Botchamania has its like, but I digress, and like here comes
Simpsons references.
yeah,
yeah.
you know, it's JR time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's got his own little like bag of tricks like that and stuff like that. But I look, I'm addicted to those channels. They make me laugh. Like, you know, it
celebrates. It celebrates.
And once again, let he who has not botched cast the first stone. You know.
Yep. We literally have. I don't tell. We have a video production shit happens channel on our Slack channel, and it's not to degrade. I don't want to publicly trash anything that happens in video production because shit happens to everybody. Sure. But the purpose of it is to show. You know, a lot of us here, Riz included, are very hard on ourselves on our performance when we do video production live. Even in
I don't
the
know what you're
training
talking
shows.
about, Sorg.
And
I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's while I like the striving for perfection, accomplishing it is when you're seeing a WWE, TNA, AEW, or I think I put some stuff from the inauguration that got fucked up, you know, in there. They're like, listen, this is the highest level thing. Shit still happens, you know. Say it is not the end of the world, but learn from it and move on.
So to bring us back to the Royal Rumble, actually with the Joe Henry thing, there was one thing that I thought was, I think is a production error, but I could be wrong. You know how Joe Henry at the end of his thing, he does the turnaround? Like they zoomed in too late. Like way too
Dude,
late.
TNA's been fucking that up too.
Yeah. Like the timing of it, like you want to have his face be the biggest thing when he turns around.
Yep.
If you look at the first couple appearances of MXM collection, they do that turn like pose thing. They like on first couple Ring of Honors, no idea.
It's
they
like,
had no idea how to do it.
AEW actually nailed this, but like
They do now.
I imagine it. I imagine it with. Do you remember when they were doing Best Friends and they would do like, you know?
Yeah, they do the
Okada hug?
Yeah,
Yes.
they do. They do the Okada zoom out.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. Well, I love. I was just watching one of the recent New Japans, and I love. I don't think we do this in the American version. But I know they do, because Missy does the graphics usually at the American shows now, and they do like the graphic comes up when the bell hits, but I don't think they do the zoom in. Like I forgot they do a wild zoom in while the graphics coming up on the bell ring on that thing. So I'm very fascinated. We've been playing with it, especially with championship entries when we're practicing on Thursdays, and we're trying to bring it into some of the shows here and there. But we've been changing the championship entrances to not just like WWE does this, but it's also something we know from doing MMA is you do not do any graphics, and New Japan does this for everybody. They are in the ring, and you don't put the graphic up till they say their name in the ring to pose, right? So, and again, something we've been familiar with that, and we're trying to bring that in, just like something a little different, you know what I mean? And like one of these days, it's going to be a Thursday night or something where I'm like, guys, let's do everything New Japan style. And just like, fuck it. Every graphic is going to be like timed like they do at New Japan. I'm going to put Missy on the graphics and control it and be like, let's fucking just like see how this works and see if we like it, honestly.
I put a sizzle reel together on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way.
Yep, I noticed.
I put a sizzle reel together on my Instagram. Some of it's your stuff, you know, where, but it's all entrances because and it's funny when I put it all together and watched it, you know, and not to put myself over, but I do that a lot. I was really kind of enthralled by the whole thing. And I was like, entrances are like, you know, it was just another one of those hammer home. Like, I've been doing this for so long, but still like you need the reminder. It's like, damn, entrances are important. Mm-hmm. Like,
the first time they're seeing you during that match,
you know, it's like, it's just, you just have to come out with some pepper, like a little bit of chutzpah, you know?
Hey, that's from last Friday.
Yeah.
There's another RWA one. Yeah, no, absolutely. You find the camera, you yell at it.
There's an RWA one that I really like in there too. That's from upstate New York. Mm-hmm. That one I just wanted to put in there because it was like I wish they had focused more on the entrance, but it was just one of those deals.
And even just get in front of people. So a lot more to talk about here with Glenn Spector, the big boss. # hire Glenn. You know what? Let me fix that actually, because I just put hire Glenn in the corner for you guys on video. You know, we need to make sure this is right. So when it's out on the TikTok and everything, actually that part gets cut off when we put it on TikTok. But still, just generally, if there's any clips, there you go. # hire Glenn.
I feel like I'm getting a call like any minute.
Any minute. Yeah, somebody on the West Coast that still would be in the office.
I mean, somebody's going to be.
I'll call you from the dojo, I'm sure.
Like who's this Levesque coming? Oh, it's Trips.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome.
There you go. There you go.
But let's continue with the Rumble. How about? And this was another thing I saw internet people complaining about, and it pissed me off because it was awesome. How about Motor City Machine Guns? How good are they still?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think they had a great match.
Talk about giving me hope.
I mean, they were.
How good are they still?
They're kind of in the death spot there after a Rumble between that and the championship. Like they are like profoundly the least important match on the card. But still,
you put that match after the Rumble. Yeah. And you make it 2 out of 3 falls, and you go all 3 falls. Mm-hmm. It was kind of
everybody's getting the drink. Everybody's going for a pee break.
But still,
the Machine Guns are in front of the 65,000 people. Yes, absolutely deserves it. Good for fucking them.
In classic Glenn Spector wrestling nerd fashion, what match was I the most excited to see at the Rumble? That match.
The one that everybody else was least excited.
Taking a piss break.
But all of us are excited because we know all those people.
Well, number
right?
one, I worked with those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, like,
my first show behind a camera had Motor City Machine Guns and Johnny Gargano on the card.
It just reminded me of, like, you know, like, guys, we can still go.
Yeah.
We can still go.
Yep.
Like, and that's that's the magic of pro wrestling in like a lot of ways. You know, I have to, but I think I'm better than I've ever been. Mm. Like, we can still go.
If I may, Glenn, take you back to like last month, when they were kind of when you were in RWA, facing up during that match, they started chanting, you know, calling you grandpa and all that stuff.
It's cool. I'm fine with it.
And then like
it's part of
somebody,
it.
Somebody literally brought a sign that said Grandpa Glenn.
Yeah. And then as soon as that bell rang, it was just back and forth, just.
We started that match with a run spot that were, and I was so happy because that's how we had talked it over. Like I was like I want to show these guys something hot, and then the Grandpa thing had started. Like this guy had the sign, and we did the whole spot with that. Where Rev faked, he if you saw a fan with a cane, this is very much to the skill of his improv. He saw a fan with a cane, and while I was out yelling at the guy who had the Grandpa Glenn sign, he went out, got the cane, slid back into the ring, and did an impression of me with the cane. It was brilliant. And that's the magic of pro wrestling. But then we hit it. We hit a run spot like right off the bat, and it was great because it just they were trying to chant Grandpa, and it just shut them up. And it was just
Good stuff. There we got footage up here that's from RWA's Uprising over on the YouTube and on Indie Wrestling Network.
Look at those! Look at those beautiful white tights. That's some of my new gear. That's from my man Zodiac. That guy. Give him a shout out. He's doing such a good job.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to our friends that are supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Everybody helping support the show over there and keeping those servers running and everything for us. That does help keep those alive so we can continue delivering the Mayhem over there. So thank you, everybody that does support us over there, including our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as
Wow, you cut out there.
Team Ham.
Nice.
That's on your side. On Team Hammerfist, the designer of this sweet jacket. Sweet jacket. Oh, John's getting in on it too. Tupac family, our friends over at 880. Bubba Brewer of the Triple B podcast and APWF. Jason French at the Poppy Club level. Dave Propmod partner of the iPhoneography podcast. Rats in a Trench Coat. Tony Kincaid, who will be the DM for the next season of Top Rope Tabletop, by the way. I don't know if you saw the pictures on the internet. The Riz at the Beats Club level. And at the manager level, Bradley. There we go. Bradley. Bradley, the walking.
I do this
the
for
vice
with
president,
love, Bradley.
The walking wedgie. Bradley.
Vice president of the Glenn Spector fan club.
Yes,
Bradley.
yes.
Vice president, not the president.
I kept going. Busy's like, why do you keep following him to the other side? I'm like, because they're all going to interact with Bradley. I have to get the Bradley spots.
Yeah, you have to get the Bradley
we only had
spots.
one camera, so I had to get it, and it was wireless. So I'm like, I'm going to get.
And I was on I just point this out. I was on the other side of the ring when this happened.
Yes.
And whenever I saw them come out and like start celebrating, I remembered something, and then I just bolted as fast as I could to get this shot.
It was like a cartoon, get the feet going kind of thing. Like he went whoop.
And then I almost banged my foot into a door, the broken door that was there.
See now Chip is the president, okay, but Bradley is vice president. So.
Here you go. I didn't put the graphic up. There you go.
There we go.
Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. I didn't finish the spot. So there you go. So thank you everybody for that. Anyways, let's stay on the Rumble for a moment then, since we're having a good conversation with that. Actually, just general stuff, because we saw a little bit the ladder match. We'll lead into something with that. That was a wild. That was a great ladder match. Looked brutal. Some of that stuff looked so freaking brutal. The tiny ladder. WLC is alive, ladies and gentlemen. We were pontificating, watching this thing. It was like, they've been talking about like this tiny ladder for like a month. Like those two guys were just like, listen, and then we're going to bring out this tiny ladder. But it looks like it was the one that hurt the most.
Oh, well, I'm sure. That's how it always is.
Yes, absolutely. They broke the big one. And then there's a point where
Japanese tables notoriously harder to break than American tables.
Yes, because they're thinner. And they did a lot with that in Wrestle Kingdom this year, by the way. It was kind of gross. Like they did that Gabe Kidd match. There was a point where one of the bigger ladders was like kind of cockeyed and stuck on the ropes in the background, and I'm just like, this is the best like Street Fighter level right now, because it's just this kind of chaos and calamity was the wide representation in that ring, which was so perfect for that. Sammy, of course, played a role in there with that, and at least checking on Kevin and everything, which of course led to on Raw. The attack after the match with CM Punk, Kevin coming at him, presumably because he alluded to Sammy, hey, help me out in this ladder match, buddy. Right. And of course, this is going to go the way that you know it's going to go. Yeah. But this means, hypothetically, we're going to get the Fight Forever feud of the the forever feud will most likely be coming to WrestleMania,
which is awesome,
which is great,
Yes.
which is where it needs to be, where we all wanted it to go eventually, and be on that stage. And it's going to be probably the craziest thing since they did Ladder War.
Hell yeah. So the ladder match I thought was really well done. The only downside of the ladder match at all is that if you want to look at one negative, the only one I could think of is I just couldn't think. Then this is the problem with being too understanding of how wrestling is booked and stuff like that. The falses didn't land with me only because I just could not conceive of a scenario where Cody doesn't walk out with the belt.
No, absolutely.
You know
I
what
mean, it could have been a wild switcheroo and stuff, but
yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking was if Hunter was like, I need a big swerve. That's the there were definitely some rough bumps, some really rough bumps, like stuff that number one, I don't like ladder matches at all because I'm scared of anything higher than the top rope. Like heights aren't I've done a couple Tower of Doom spots when I was younger where I had to be the top of the tower, and they were always kind of okay because by the time you're in the superplex position, you can't see where you're going and you're fine. Like
it's just like whatever happens.
Yeah,
right?
like once you're hooked, you really can't see shit, and it's like, well, I don't know how high I am until you see it on video, and you're like, oh shit, But I've actually never done a ladder match because I don't think I could do it justice. Because honestly, I would just be doing the Chelsea Green spot, like where I would be like try to climb the ladder and be like, this is too high, and it would be funny.
Yeah,
but like that's about as good as you're gonna get out of me.
No, you're conquering your fear. You become more identifiable, like Chelsea.
Right. Yeah.
Chelsea is all of us. I get. After that,
dude,
match.
that was my favorite ladder spot ever because it like spoke to my soul.
Yeah.
Of being scared of heights.
We've talked about Katie Dutter's, other tall person, but will not go above second rung. And we were up at Oshkosh in Wisconsin, and they're like, "Oh, we need a nice upper shot of all the students and all these vehicles behind them. Here, climb this ladder." And I get a message like, "Hey, they're making me climb a ladder," and I'm like, I was with a client or something across the field, across the facility, and I'm like, I need to go. My photographer's about to climb a ladder. No, that's a problem. So when the Chelsea Green thing happened, I sent her the clip. I'm like, it's you. it's all of us.
Yeah. It's just like I said, there's just a height level where I'm like, we're not supposed to be this.
Yeah, no. We were not meant to fly.
It's
like I went into a cave. I went into a cave once. You know what I mean? Like on one of those cave tours.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it was so narrow that my shoulders were touching the walls, and I was like, we're not supposed to be in here. And I just turned around. I was like, thanks for the tour. I'm done. Like because it's just like, and I don't even feel bad, folks. I don't feel bad. You can think of me what you want, but God did not intend for me to be up super high or in a hole somewhere.
Yes. So
just on solid ground.
You know what I mean?
On solid ground, not in it. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna work a hold, baby. I'm gonna work a hold. Let's go.
But anyway, so yeah, no, some good stuff coming out of that. Obviously, we're set up for Elimination Chamber. We got Punk and Cena lined up for that now. We'll have some more qualifiers here in the coming weeks as they kind of lead into that. That will be in Toronto. Cena with me being in the title match main event at WrestleMania is best for business, so I'm inserting myself in an Elimination Chamber. Was an interesting take. Took no questions. He said, I'm just going to statement and I'm out, and this is what we're doing.
Is that the first time one of the losers of a match got to do one of those interviews? Like the post show?
I don't know about that. Like Cena loses a lot of matches, as he points out. But I mean, like, is that the first time he's like in the site of where they do the post show? I don't think so. I don't think. I think they have a quite different philosophy with that. It's whoever's the story they want to tell, and that can be a response to something like that.
I'm sure you guys remember this. Do you remember when Cena, during the Cena Punk feud, where he basically said he's like, no matter what, one of his digs on CM Punk was, win or lose, like, I'm going on to WrestleMania, like, this match, like, I don't have to win this match, you have to win this match.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shoot behind that with him in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he is at a point in his career, especially, and he was already there back then, where essentially losing doesn't hurt him anymore, which is kind of an incredible place to be.
Which, he gets to bring that up to remind people to draw some sympathy and doubt on him on what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Right. But he's always been kind of a interesting straight shooter, because remember they had a thing with him and Roman when I don't think Roman was heel yet. He was still big dog in it and stuff. And they had a couple lineups, and he was just like, you can't carry the ball, like in the middle of the ring, like
oh, that promo's sick.
Like it was
that promo's sick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
it's messed up a little bit. Actually.
It is.
It's some real tough love.
And hearing I've been seeing some clips and interviews where he's talking about like how he was not ready for the position they put him in and stuff, like he
I
knew
believe
it.
he said something about did he say something about him rehearsing his promos, something like that?
Yeah.
Like
They did that.
He's like the difference between you and me is I didn't have to plan any of this. Like I am literally just going to shoot off the cuff, right?
Yeah, because he's that
something,
good.
Something in that regard.
He did that against The Rock too. Like he mentioned about like the notes being on his wrist.
Yes,
I
that's
saw
great
that.
promo.
I'm like,
Those were
he saw
great.
against The Rock to his face.
Yep.
I mean, look, the thing is, like, Cena and Rock are basically like two sides of the same coin. They've had very similar trajectories, and I feel like they're both kind of similar megastars. Like,
and a lot of similar trajectory even into Hollywood and stuff.
That's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
why I said they're basically running a parallel race. Like they're both. I would argue Rock is the bigger, more highly paid star overall, probably. If I think I'm correct on that with the numbers, but I would say that Cena's quality of work he's been in is a little better. Not in the beginning when he was doing stuff like the Marine and stuff like that, which wasn't so great.
No.
But
The Rock.
Peacemaker.
The Rock did the Rundown and stuff, right? Which was like a fine movie, but
I liked him in Walking Tall.
Yeah,
if anybody remembers that. Like, but he's definitely done some straight up garbage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
no shade on The Rock.
No. It's all
Hashtag hire me.
We make fun of we make fun of Batista had a terrible first couple of movies that were really low rent and stuff, and look what he's doing now, right?
Oh, sure.
Like I think he's like doing Oscar worthy stuff, right? And will be. So he gets it.
And I mean Kane. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Yeah.
He was in a horror movie. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he had a sequel.
He was in like a low budget horror movie.
It was a good horror movie.
Dude, I would take that to second.
Yeah.
Hashtag
right?
hire Glenn.
Hashtag cast Glenn.
That's right. I'll take it, man.
Hey, there's a lot of that around the city here. A lot
There's
of wrestlers.
More of it than ever now. And look,
That's
man,
right.
I said like the only other thing I'd want to do besides wrestle, I think, is like I said this a while back. I would love to get like beat up in the Power Rangers or something like that. Like I love.
You want to be a putty?
I love physical acting. Well, I'd like to be a Power Ranger, but the problem is I'm like old and ugly, and like I'm not like maybe 2005 Glenn could be one of the Rangers, but now I'm just kind of like Bulk and Skull over here.
Both of them combined?
Yeah.
Okay. Just combine them together and make one. It's Glenn.
Oh, jeez. What else is happening? I guess we should address one elephant in the room from last night. Yes, Netflix had some glitch issues. This is where I come to. It happens to the best of us with all the money they have and everything. I don't know what that is. I haven't seen a statement on it.
I only had one part where I got the spiral of death.
Oh, it was getting these black glitches, and it was worldwide, US too, from what I understand. Like, it was really bad through the main event.
It didn't feel real.
It didn't feel real.
Like, I kept going,
it was a weird digital glitch
like
somewhere.
is somebody hacking the Netflix stream? Is it going to be like...
Is this another Wide 6 promo?
I mean, like...
But it got annoying, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like watching Tyson Jake Paul.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Where it was like 4 frames per minute.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, wow, I'm watching this straight from 2002.
Somebody filmed it on a Nokia potato.
On a sidekick. I mean, they're going to have these issues, but also they're week to week. This is going to get worked out, and you're going to forget about it because you're going to watch it next week, right? So, but also they put them back on USA calls. It's like, they got too much money to go back to USA. And USA is about to get spun out into its own company because NBC doesn't want to own them anymore.
Can we talk about
they're-
Netflix for a second? I still want to get hired though.
Yes.
But can we talk about Netflix for 1 second?
Okay.
So my internet deal came with what they call which is like the lowest level.
So you have the ads and stuff.
I was like, this is horrendous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I immediately, I was like, so they'll get you. Like, what a scam that is. Like, it's such a, number one, there are movies that are just stuck behind that paywall. And also, you're in the middle of watching a movie, you get to some moment and you're like, and then it just jumps to commercial. And I swear to God, they put it at the most important times. I said, it's just, I know, and you know what? Here's the thing. They got me. Sons of bitches. Because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Because once again, I want to watch the damn movies. Plus, Kinnikuman, the wrestling cartoon. If you've never watched that, it's
Is that on there?
oh yeah. There's a whole new season.
Hold on. What is this called again?
Kinnikuman. It's Muscle Ultimate. The only one that ever made it to the States was Ultimate Muscle, which was it was like all the characters from Kinnikuman's kids. It's okay, but this new show is really fun.
How do you spell that?
Oh, good luck. K-I-N-N.
IKUMAN.
Kinnikuman. Let's try that.
Wow.
Oh darn, we don't have it. Okay, we'll figure that out later. Send me that. Send me
sure,
that later from your Netflix.
I am sure some people watching this watch it.
They're yelling at me like, "You idiot! You don't know Kinnikuman!" Like, no, I don't.
So when I was over in Japan and back in the early 2000s, I got it's one of my cool possessions from Japan. I still have my favorite character from Kinnikuman is Terry Man, and Terry Man is it's literally Terry Funk.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I mean more jacked, but it's Terry Funk, and so like I said, it's all those original characters are back in the series. It's awesome. Terry Man plays a very prominent role in the new series.
He is straight up almost like Terry Funk.
There you go. Okay, so I've seen this kind of stuff before. Yeah. There's just a few images. Thank you, Riz, for giving me the spelling on that one. But yeah, Ultimate Muscle. I think there was a Secret Galaxy on Ultimate Muscle.
And there was it all started when I was very, very young. There was a line of toys that were just like little what they would call in Japan gashapon figures, like little plastic, no articulation at all figures. Like from back in the day, they were all one color, like pink, solid pink molded plastic.
Kaiju Big Battle had a Kickstarter. We have some of them in the back.
No kidding.
Yeah, they did a Kickstarter that was all Kaiju Big Battle characters as that. So, and by the way, they did it again to me. Kaiju Big Battle coming back to Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh, I believe. I think at the Bayam, if I'm not mistaken. The weekend that I'm out of town. I always come in the spring when I'm traveling.
I have a few friends and people I work out with that have worked Kaiju Big Battle, so that have played those characters.
Hey, Kaiju Big Battle. Hire Glenn.
There you go.
There you go.
Boom.
You could be a burger.
Yeah, I'll wrestle in a giant cactus suit or whatever they got going on down there.
We did get. I was so happy. I've seen Kaiju Big Battle as part of National Pro Wrestling Day when we went out with IWC and Elias and John McChesney. That was a wild night. And then I saw him at the Gathering of Juggalos.
Nice.
And then I took Missy to see them when we were at WrestleMania weekend. Kaiju Big Battle at the Monster Factory.
That's cool.
That was very fun.
Since you mentioned it, speaking of Hire Glenn hashtag, I really want to work a Juggalo show. So let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I feel like everybody I know is working the Juggalo show, the JCW show now.
I feel like this fratty thing we got going on with the Troublemakers would be great.
Oh, absolutely.
Great heels.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Great heels. Like arch heels.
Cabana.
Yeah, at the trio with Officer Cabana.
Oh, that would be just arch heels at JCW.
Oh, it would be great. It would be great. We'll go back to the throwing shit days.
Oh yeah, please no throw as many Faygo balls as you want, as long as I'm getting a good payday.
I do believe the gathering is going to be on this side of Columbus again, if I'm not mistaken. So, and it's the big one. So hopefully they're doing a lot of stuff there. So it's. Yeah, like it's wild to see like Joe Dabrowski and everybody get on that show.
Yeah,
at this
Facade,
point, and Facade's all over it, and Danny, that's so cool. That's so fucking cool. And to see the JCW is like doing stuff on a platform, you know,
and they're working.
So
they're working with honestly the organization that I'm making the most inroads into, and what my actual goal is, which is to work for the NWA. They actually there's some interaction. There's a fair bit of interaction there, which gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah,
I like. And here's the thing: the reason that's my goal is because I love the product. I really like what they're doing.
I love. Listen, I've loved the Juggalo stuff forever, but you could tell they were not hiring the best of Listen, they are self-admitted thugs, and I think they hire fellow thugs that they know.
You know what?
And it always got weird over the years.
I was more geared towards the NWA in that part of the
conversation. Sorry, on the JCW side. No. The NWA is not a bunch of thugs to my awareness, but JCW.
With the JCW thing, though, the one thing, and you have to respect it, is they and I think this is it's an important thing, is like they're loyal to the people that are loyal to them.
Absolutely.
And that goes a long way in my book.
Yeah.
Maybe just in this world we need a little more of that period. So
I love it, and I love that everybody's like seeing the stuff that I've loved seeing at the Gathering every year. You know what I mean? And getting in on the in jokes and stuff. And I think it's reaching people that aren't just juggalos. Yeah, because it's good wrestling.
Well, and not only that, but the thing is, what I'm really kind of like. You know, and this could be something more for the end of the show when you do your what did you learn about wrestling this week and stuff like that. But like this is just just a thing right now. There's so much wrestling for that we're at a point now where you can kind of get the kind of wrestling you want somewhere. There's so much different wrestling going on right now. Like it's crazy. Like just the themes of different shows and stuff like that, and some of the really unique niche stuff like old time wrestling, which is going on in Ohio, Kaiju Big Battle,
mystery wrestling, even to a big gay brunch to blood sport happening most big weekends, and
even look, it's not my style at all, but like a lot of deathmatch stuff, and if you're into that, like. They're literally you can go see almost if you're a real into one of these particular niche genres of wrestling, there are shows that are that's the entire show. You can get 8 matches of that. Whereas for me, I think I'll always like the variety show, the show that where it has a little bit of everything. But
that's where I appreciated. Got to do. I mentioned before I did the Ricochet and Page show with Clash a couple months ago in Detroit. And we talked about that philosophy because like we talked about the show I did before. I was like, there's too much stuff on that show, right? Like there was 10 matches and it was 4 hours with all the setup and everything. And he's like, no, he actually had a good head that there was a different gimmick on every match. They weren't all blood gimmicks. It was like, hey, here's 4 people on a ladder. Hey, this is a chairs match. Hey, this is this, like that kind of thing. And we're gonna have a crazy death fucking device with light tubes at the end of the show, kind of thing, because that's a style, but it was there was oh my God, it's deathmatch, but there's actually some there's some philosophy to it. There's some logic to it, which is just we're going to use syringes, I
think that the other thing is when you have a variety show, and this is just me talking selfishly as a worker, it makes your job easier because if the entire theme of the show, let's take a deathmatch show. If the entire theme of the show is a deathmatch show, now you're all working twice as hard to have the best deathmatch.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're the only deathmatch on the card, people are going to be interested because you're the deathmatch. If you're the only tag match on the card, that kind of thing, where this is where I feel sometimes variety shows can shine. At the same time, though, there is something to be said for your tournaments. This is a tag team tournament. I really want to wrestle in the Crockett Cup. That's a tag tournament.
I saw TME calling that out too, and they're Exodus champions right now.
I would love that's something. Troublemakers TME has to happen.
It hasn't happened yet.
It has not happened yet.
How have you guys missed each other?
Hashtag hire Glenn Exodus. Let's go. Let's go. We've been on. We were in the Rome Battle Royal thing.
By the way, can I tell the backstory of that? You guys
shoot.
You guys were supposed to be you guys were showing up there and everything and trying to help out and get in. And I was like, hey, can you guys watch my camera guys and watch the course for tonight? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. The next thing I know, you guys are all getting fitted for the ropes and stuff. I'm like, well, I guess we lost our backup.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, good for them. I know how it is.
But I mean, look, this if you can, we can go back to the Rumble conversation. I don't want to just drop it, but I just want to give the first of my many plugs for stuff that's going on this Friday. So this will show you the difference a year can make. This Friday, the Troublemakers, Kane and Christopher, and myself, the boss, Glenn Spector, we're going to be wrestling the Country Gentlemen at NWA Joe Kazana Promotions in Decatur, Tennessee. And what are we wrestling for? The NWA Tag Team Belts. So what a difference a year can make, folks.
Absolutely. I know they've been doing a lot of great stuff. Like, I think they've been getting more into like streaming their shows and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
They've got a full. They're doing the whole YouTube thing, and they're doing a good job with it. Their production values are good, and the show's good. And like honestly, obviously the if it was Glenn Spector talking right this second, I would be like, we're gonna rip the faces off of the Kazana brothers. But honestly, the Kazana family is really great.
Good stuff there. They're not one that's definitely been on the radar with things going on there. So and part of that NWA territory system.
And that, like I said, it's one of those things where they're developing kind of a ladder to get onto the main show, obviously with these territory shows, and a place where you can show your wares. And honestly, if NWA JCP is the one I'm currently working for, and I've been on Exodus, if those are examples, guys, I mean, like, these are bangarang indie shows. Like, these are people who really care about wrestling and are really putting out a quality product.
I continue on the show, of course, but over like it's an experience to see how a show can be run too. Yeah. Right, because I don't, you've been to a lot more companies, seeing the backstage. Like nobody runs a show like that, that we see up in Cleveland, that I've seen, on these levels.
When I am in an NWA locker room, you just like the thing about the NWA is everybody's there on business, and and let me tell you something. And this is what I have the blessing and curse of being a locker room reader in some of the places in the local area. And that my goal with the shows that I'm trying to help make huge here is to give them that same big sense of because when I'm in an NWA locker room, I feel like everybody's here on business. Like, don't get me wrong, there's camaraderie, there's friendship and things like that, but we're all here with a goal: pack these seats, make money. And that is I feel like more and more indie shows, and like I said, I'm really blessed to be on a lot of good shows right now, and I'm a trainer at Rise at the Stronghold, and that's our goal. I want people to I want wrestlers to walk into that locker room and be like, it's business time, baby. Let's make some goddamn money.
Yeah. Like I've been too many promotions where backstage it just feels like pulling teeth to get anybody to do anything that actually is positive for the show.
Yep.
And they're just like, well, just on our weekend is what I do. It's like, and that attitude kills me. And that's something, at least on production wise, when we interact with wrestlers, we're trying to bring that kind of attitude, at least to this is how things run. Oh, you don't like it? This is how things run. You're on a platform. You need to consider that.
One of the things, this is something we talked about at a VCW show, but I really appreciated, was reminding people that if they have, because everybody needs a reminder, including myself. Hey, if you have a spot in your match that needs a particular camera angle, let us know. More video people that needs to be said every show. Like, if you have a special spot, get it to the video guys, because it's so helpful for you guys.
Did I say that during the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, I can't remember. I kind of went into a blind. I'm like, oh shit, he wants me to talk.
No. You were at a meeting and you just blurted out you were like, by the way, and it was like, guys, if you have a spot, and I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, because I was the only videographer, so I'm like, let me know.
but ever since that show, I was like, oh yeah, I probably should be talking to the video guys more.
And it doesn't have to be the point where, oh god, we're going so deep on this. Like, I've been on shows, I've been on the headsets and hearing a Tommy Dreamer saying okay, he's gonna dive out this side. Well, that was the wrong side, but close enough. Stuff like that. That's literally how fine-tuned that level takes it. And obviously Thursday nights, it's a very difficult new situation where we can't get around the ring, right? So when I'm like, if you're going to start taking dives in the back of the ring, we can't get to you.
stupid shit.
I hope
Yeah,
you're not
good
doing
luck.
anything important, and I don't know if they're getting that. I know they watch their matches back, so hopefully they figure it out soon. You know what I mean? But it's just like, you talked zero to me about this. Don't get mad when I missed your shit.
So a lot of drills I do when I'm doing my role in as a coach and a trainer, and I did this on Monday actually, and it was one of those things where it was like I got a lot of good feedback from the kids because it really made them work, because when I evaluated them at the end, I brought it up constantly. We had like a hard cam side.
Yeah.
And we're working on doing a lot of like kind of working in improvisational heat, and then working into a comeback and stuff like that. And like, I put in, I didn't want them to call a ton of stuff, but I put in moments for them to do character work or pop off and stuff like that. And like one of my biggest critiques was like, like you either didn't pop off at all and didn't give the fans any kind of moment during your comeback, where you let everything kind of sit and that like the camera could focus on you and your intensity, or they just didn't do it to the side that like, it's like, I'm like, this is hard cam side. We talked about this. And every time I would point, I'd be like, that's the hard cam side, work to the hard cam side for your thing. Like, like, because once again, even a little thing like that, I mean, like, cause if you're a young wrestler, like one of the things that's difficult about the indie transition to the when you're actually working television is it does change things. Like you're still doing a lot of the same things, don't get me wrong, but like when you're working towards TV, like they're going to want you to hit certain marks and hit certain times. Yeah. And it becomes, like I said, there's a lot of money on the line.
There's it is easy to be like, what does it matter? I'm on an indie show. I'm not there yet. It was but you need the reps on that too.
Yes. And and I say this all the time, like obviously this isn't my line. This is classic, like old school coaching, but like you play like you practice. And not only that, but your indie shows are all, you don't know what somebody's going to see.
Yeah.
You don't know what.
Even our little training show with people 6 months in the business, it was like, yo, somebody really important saw you tonight. We know X is watching tonight.
I bring this up all the time.
Your stuff has probably ended up in Stanford.
My biggest claim to fame is my run in DDT. And how did I get fucking to DDT? Somebody saw me wrestle at the Johnstown War Memorial in like a mid-card tag team match.
Yeah. So, like, you literally never, I always say that. People on this show, people on anything else, it's like, I don't care if you got 10 viewers. If one of those viewers is somebody that's going to hire you, that's fucking important.
Yeah.
That's everything.
And like I said, you can't beat yourself up over every mistake you make on an indie show, but at the same time, go into it with the idea that, hey, man, this could be the match that makes me.
The only thing that perplexes me, how do I get this mime to go viral?
Right?
Like, how would this mime not gone viral yet? Like, we gotta. Listen. I'm gonna get the. I need to get. You know what? It's gonna be a side. Sorry, John. This might be you. It's gonna be a side intern project. Where it's like, listen, give me every interesting clip that the mime did in VCW, and then we're just gonna plaster that and tag everybody. It
was so funny. I was helping out.
John Paul Miserable is who we're talking about.
Yeah, and. It's not a, I think, did Beastman thank me on the show? I'm like I am the Bruce Pritchard. He better of.
I think I tagged you on the show.
No, not tagged me, but like when we're talking about VCW, I am like, I am like the Bruce Pritchard of VCW, right? What an ignominious designation that is, right?
You're the brother love.
That's the joke. That's the joke. I'm Beastman's right hand man on that show. Yeah. No matter what he said on his interview when he was here.
He did get distracted by Gina and Matt.
I'll get my own.
Make sure you get your tattoo flyer on the way out. By the way,
that's right. Hey, by the way, is there anything we can plug? Boom.
There you go. But anyways,
no, that was it was a good show. It was a good show. But yeah, no, I'll give myself my own damn flowers. Isn't that what people say? Giving flowers? What is that about?
You've been watching the Richard Holiday promos.
Is that yeah? What is this flowers thing? I don't even get it.
No, that's the like.
Is that a thing?
Like I almost said it earlier. Actually, Machine Guns. It's good to see them getting their flowers. They're getting their recognition.
That's what it means?
Yeah, it's getting your recognition.
Okay.
I think.
Well, then I'll give myself.
I could be wrong, but that's how I
think the Bucks started it.
The Bucks.
But then people were like doing it to make fun of them, but then it like looped back around because people didn't realize that it was being ironic, so now people are just saying it.
Well, if it's wrestling and a meme, it probably involves the Young Bucks. So
yeah, that's true too. And you know, wrestlers are so great about getting irony.
Yes. Well, anyway, but yeah, no, I'll put myself over. But I was talking. I was kind of agenting the thing, and I was like. And I'm like, you're going to be wrestling Jean Paul as well. He's a mime, blah, blah, blah. And I said, before we go any further, I'm like, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, what am I going to do with this fucking mime? And I'm like, you're going to have a great match is what you're going to have.
Yeah.
Because believe me.
Oh, it's that podcaster guy this time, right?
What's that?
It wasn't
Marcus, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he was great.
And the match was great. And like, and for how young, I had a hand in training that kid, by the way.
Okay.
And for how young he is in the business, man, he
looked great.
He looked
And
great. If I could toot my own horn, toot.
And you know, we accidentally fucked with him, right?
No, I had no idea.
So there were problems with the sound. Like we were having weird file problems with it, and somebody needs to burn that laptop, honestly, because we were like the audio part wasn't working and a whole bunch of bullshit. So he went to play his music and it was like 0 bits for some reason. It didn't download right. So he had no music coming out, which sort of worked because they did that interview kind of segment. You can see it's Fight Fire with Fire 2 VCW. It's for free over on YouTube right now. For
great tag match on that show.
Yeah. There's that too. You can check that out too.
Fantastic
with
tag
Troublemakers,
match.
sure. So he did that. I did the match. We had the song for the other person. Oh, the mime, I think. And I think we played the music for him. And he went, the Marcus wins, and he was like, "What's his music?" I don't know. I'm like, so I'm on the headset with Merlin going, "Play some generic rock." It's like, I don't know what to play. I'm just like, just something generic, like anything you can think of. It doesn't matter. And I was like, we were practicing. Listen,
So how did it land on?
Listen. Okay, yeah, I'm about to tell you. So here's the secret. For about 15 years, every time I have to do an audio test in a room, I play Lady Gaga's Poker Face. I pull it up on YouTube, and that's how I can tell, because it's got a little bit of bass to it. It has a lot of range to it, right? And it's a fucking banger, okay?
It is.
So we were working on it. It was still open in a tab. And I was like, "You still got Lady Gaga sitting on there?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Give him fucking Lady Gaga." I like bump it ahead. Bump it ahead 20 seconds so you're into the hook because it builds, and that's going to be fucked up. And he no-sold it, and he came up to us after the show. Was like, "Bro, I'm so sorry. Let me tell you." He's like, "I thought you were fucking ribbing me." I'm like, "Who's fucking with me right now?" And he was so positive with everything.
The funniest thing about it was he thought they were ribbing. I legitimately just thought that was his music.
It could have been.
I literally was like, "Whose music is this?" Looked out, and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
No, that was just me and Merlin just trying to make
Because I was like, as a
work.
heel,
And also, I'm filming the match trying to help him pick a music for this guy. And I'm like, and he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "What generic music? Think of something." I'm like, "I can't think of anything. I'm busy." I'm trying to make sure I got this invisible table in the shot right now, okay?
But I said to him the same thing I've said before with the John Paul thing, which was like, when I saw the gimmick, I I think Jean Paul knows this, but I was like, when I first saw just like him in gimmick, I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
And then I watched him wrestle, and I was like, "Okay, this is fantastic." Like, and I've never seen, like, it's a strange gimmick that he has absolute commitment to, and it is 100% proof of something I've been saying about wrestling, like, for a long time now, because I really believe it's true. You ever listen to a Captain Lou Albano promo? Like, he says the craziest shit, but he says it with complete earnestness. Like, my point is, if you do something and you do it well in pro wrestling, so long as you do it well and you do it with complete earnestness, like it's real, it'll get over. And the thing about that gimmick is, I actually asked Beastman at the show, I was like, "By the way, is he a professionally trained mime?" No, seriously, because he does it so well.
He does.
And he does it with absolute earnestness, and it gets over. When they did so this is obviously a clip from that match. When they did the wall spot, the fake wall spot, oh my God, it was great.
Yeah, I think I'm planning on the table spot right now. He is setting up the table. He's picking the table up, and I love George's commitment to the bit too. By the way, with this thing,
and by the way, I'll put over Marcus for being such a young wrestler. He sold all this stuff really well, and it's hard to sell stuff that's not there.
Exactly. Like George is checking on the table, and then he goes through the table, and then I think George like removes pieces of the table from the ring at some point. So.
When my favorite thing was when he was feuding with us and he was basically like the Stone Cold Mime. That was hilarious. When he was freaking out and doing Ric Flair elbow drops to the mat and like just doing fake promos where he's yelling, but he's obviously not yelling. He's just acting like he's yelling.
Yeah. I think there's one where Jamie James is involved, and I think there's the actual sledgehammer, but then there's also a mime sledgehammer, and he uses it, and they call for the disqualification, but George is like, I didn't see it.
Yep.
I was like, fuck, that's so good.
But it really is living proof, guys. If anybody's watching this and you're a worker, like just understand, like you can get I've said this about promos, like and I really believe it. It doesn't matter what you say, as long as you believe it.
Absolutely. So hey, we're going way long. So we're going to skip segment here, but we're going to shout out all of the stuff we're talking about with the VCW and everything. Go to IndyWrestling.us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, look at
I'm subscribed.
Hundreds.
You need to be subscribed.
Yes, you are. Hundreds of hours of wrestling over there at IndyWrestling.us, including VCW's Fight Fire with Fire 2 for free on YouTube and over on the network. And then we do have the RWA's Uprising show from 2025 that we were just talking about as well as part of the network subscription, and all kinds of free stuff and matches going up all the time, so you can go check all that out.
There is so much #Hire Glenn action.
Yes, there is. So I have to go back.
Channel.
So I got to do the #Hire Glenn. Drop that in all the on all the descriptions.
It's
to help
in
you out
so
there.
many because there's matches on there all the way dating back to me in like 2002 or 2003.
Oh, that's right. Some of the old stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
See, because I believe in, I feel like we're the archive.org of Pittsburgh area wrestling. There's stuff, man, there's some stuff I got in hand I would love to post, but it's just not my thing to post. You know what I mean? But I'm happy I have it on a hard drive somewhere. So, some old purple suit Norm Connors from the 90s and everything like that.
When the crowd used to razz him, call him Barney the Dinosaur.
Yeah, Barney the Dinosaur. Yeah. So I remember he came out in the purple one time. And I'm just like, I don't know anything about this. I don't understand this at all because I came in way later on this stuff. So.
Notorious Norm.
Oh my God. God, I've had some great conversations with Norm today. So, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to check out some snazzy gear from shop.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. The URL works. It took me all weekend to figure it out because I got a weird DNS situation. Yeah, that's not for this show. That's for Awesome Cast. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes here on audio. You'll get something a little bit different because it's all audio. Right? I haven't done a voiceover for this yet. We'll be back with the big boss, Glenn Jacobs, talking more wrestling.
Glenn Jacobs.
Fuck, that's the thing I almost said before. Take
Glenn
two.
Jacobs.
I thought you were
Back
working
with
me.
the big boss, Glenn Spector, after this.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. The Riz is here, as well as it's gotta be the big boss, Glenn Spector. He's late from his pizza break.
I am,
oh no, the cord's everywhere. Oh no, he's never getting out of that.
for the purposes of intellectual property rights, significantly different from that other.
Yes.
That other.
Never worn a mask. Never worn a mask, right?
Oh, never.
No.
Not once.
Never shot fire.
I will say. Can I say one thing though? I've never done like. I'm not trying to throw any shade around the indie wrestling scene nationwide, but I will say I stand on this. I've never done a shitty Undertaker knockoff gimmick. Okay.
Like, where is that coming from?
Oh, there's a shit ton of those on the indies, and they're still around.
I mean, all I know is Soul Taker, who's amazing.
No, not it, dude. He took that on to a totally different direction.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I've heard that's not his original name though.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
I don't think anybody on this show.
Nobody on this show is going to be saying that name. Yeah. Unless we book Christian Noir.
I don't know if he would be saying it a lot.
By the way, good time to mention the Mayhem Wed game. We will not be live next Tuesday, but we are doing a pre-tape of the Mayhem Wed game. Have we said who's on it?
No.
The returning original Mayhem couple, Doc Remedy and Mayhem Missy, will be returning as a team, but we will have the new team of Christian Noir and Lexus Sin on the other end of the table. So that will be recording here, and actually, we're probably going to put a stream out, a secret stream out for you guys on Patreon here on Wednesday night when we intend to put that up. So keep an eye out for that at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, and then we'll drop it for the rest of you guys at the usual Mayhem time next Tuesday. I will be in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm doing a site visit for a project in Tucson in a couple months, so I'm going to figure out if I can stream motorsports in a pumpkin patch.
Tucson, Arizona.
So Sorg, just because you said you were a fan of bad wrestling.
Yes.
Just to get you up to date.
Okay.
If you go back to your late 90s, early 2000s indie wrestling, I promise you will have your pick of the litter of under 6 foot Undertakers.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was a popular thing or Ravens. It was very popular to mimic those two characters.
Okay.
I got the Raven thing a little more because I was in love with Raven. So,
yeah.
But I did make sure not to do either of those.
Probably like a lot of fake Sandmans, too.
I mean,
or
just
a lot
of guys who didn't want to buy gear.
Yeah. Oh, just like all the fake Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, Hot Topics, and we're good to go.
During
right?
that time, there was like
it's just in my closet.
there was a guy dressed up as Kevin Nash called Scott Nash.
I think I've heard of this. Yeah. My God. But there wasn't the internet. This wasn't everywhere. It's just like
there was the internet.
Dude, Doink the Clown was on half the shows I was on in 2002.
Oh yeah. Man,
I made the circuits.
I didn't even know if it was the right Patriot I was watching.
Oh yeah,
that's
that was
a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yes. So like, I'm not going to tell that story. I told that story.
And apparently, I was talking with Crusher Hansen. There was a guy who at least claimed that that he did an alternate. They needed extra Blue Blazer matches for like house shows, and he was the other Blue Blazer. Which I mean, take that with a grain of salt, man. It was somebody. This is some real whisper down the lane. This was something that somebody told to Crusher Hansen. That Crusher Hansen was like, I don't even think I believe this. So
that's great. Crusher Hansen's a name I haven't heard for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I just saw him yesterday. Honestly, he looks great.
Good.
And I feel like he could still go.
Yeah. All right. Keep that in mind. I don't know why I'm keeping that in mind like I book anything.
We all know that you're the mastermind behind all this stuff.
Sorg, you hire Glenn.
Listen,
hire Glenn. Hashtag.
I think I might have accidentally booked half of the show on Friday. So I'm still getting
half of the world was at that show to be booked.
Yeah, that's true too. Was it literally just like I felt? Sorry, but it was like I did feel like it was kind of like the old 880 shows where like, oh, who is here tonight? And we have a whiteboard situation. Even Toddy Tundera showed up, which really kind of fit the mood. And I'm just like, do you have the whiteboard? Because he's got a piece of paper over there.
Hey, I was on the poster.
Yes, you were on the poster. There was nobody else on the poster but you.
And that, yeah,
was Zeke on the poster? Maybe
you're welcome for the house.
Yes, yeah. There you go. I've almost said that like several times. I'm like, I don't think it's appropriate for me to say that yet. So,
it was you, Zeke, and like Happy Beast Man.
Yeah, I think Cowpoke was on there, right?
Cowpoke was
He's
on
the
there.
champion. He better be on there.
Yeah.
Beast Man tucked him in the back corner.
Tucked in the back corner.
Like he's just like in the background with a big smile on his face.
Like we all know they're here to see King Kong Husk. Oh God. Anyways, hey, you know what? You got a piece of hardware over here we haven't talked about yet.
Oh yeah.
What's going on over there?
Let's talk.
It's not even in the shot.
Should I certainly haven't done this the whole show. Can I talk about me?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? What do you got? You're
Hold
tied
on,
in there.
up.
You're tied in there.
Yeah. Look, like everybody brings their belts.
I had somebody asking what belt Lexus Sin had, although they called it an MMA belt, so I don't know if they knew what show they were on.
Everybody brings their belts.
Yes.
I'm bringing my belt, not just for me. Honestly, I wanted to tell this story because it's a cool little story. So I've been wrestling again for Upstate Pro Wrestling in Rochester, New York, one of my favorite places to work.
I think I've been to one of those.
This is the Upstate World Heavyweight title. And the reason it is a world heavyweight title is because I took, it wasn't this exact belt. That belt is actually at their facility. But I took their belt, their original heavyweight belt, to Japan, and I defended it in DDT's Cruisers Game show. Thus, it is a world traveled belt. So we felt like it was legitimately a world belt at that point. And so out of nowhere, I started working again with those guys. Big ups to Mike Champion, whose office there, and Hellcat Rosario, who put their faith back in me to carry that company again. And if you get a chance to go to Upstate Pro Wrestling in Rochester, New York, I know this is a Pittsburgh-based show, but I'm going to be...
We're a world-based show. What are you talking about? We got
That's
people
right.
from Seattle. I don't know if there's anybody from Rochester. Shout out to Ash.
But
I
said the last time, we've talked a couple times, and I talk about like how important it is for me to become a national act again and become an international act again. And, like I said, Decatur, Tennessee this week, upstate New York again next month to defend this title against Troy Cooper, who I'm sure will be a game opponent. Big shout out to Chris Caden, who was unfortunately injured last show we were at, but he's the guy I actually beat for the title 2 shows ago. And he's recovering, and he's going to come back better than ever. And I look forward to running it back with him, giving him another shot at it, though I plan on holding this belt for a very long time. But yeah, great. I actually also got the chance to run a seminar up there, which I haven't done in a long time. Had 15 young aspiring wrestlers come in and train with me, and we got some good video of that.
Good.
And it felt really good. I really like working with wrestlers, and helping them get their shit together. I'm a little bit crazy, like the dude from Whiplash, but I'm a little. I say with Brandon K, myself, and Dean, it's like good cop, bad cop, bad cop. But I think you need some bad cop in there.
Absolutely.
And by the way, the other thing I'm doing this week. So this week I've got NWA tag title shot in Decatur for NWA JCP against the Country Gentlemen on Friday. On Saturday I come back, Rise Wrestling, and I'm going to be wrestling. Hold on, I got to stop for a second. That's me and Jack Vaughn. And by the way, is there a cooler guy in wrestling than Jack Vaughn? Honestly,
No.
Riz, did you just get in some heat with him on comments the other day?
I did not get in some heat with him. I did not get heat with him.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you made him sad or
he agreed with
something.
me.
Okay.
He agreed with me
Yes.
because one of the things was he was doing how to pin somebody.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. The video's great.
And I commented, I'm like, this is all wrong. And going back to production a little bit, I was like, this is wrong because sometimes the indie wrestlers don't know where the camera is to do that. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, you're right. And I was like, oh, Jack Vaughn knows who I am.
You corrected the veteran.
I'm good.
Wow.
By the way,
Riz.
this is what I was talking about with and like I said, I'm going to get to Rise next, but with the NWA thing, with the caliber of people, the JV team, Dalton McKenzie and Jack Vaughn, we'll get you next time, guys. But man, what great guys to work with. Vaughn's a treat. Super cool guy. I'm going to kick him right in the back of the head.
Yep,
That's
there it
who I am.
is.
There it is.
But but that doesn't mean the thing about wrestling, you can kick a guy in the back of the head, have a beer with him later.
That just sounds like a Saturday night to me.
And then we just put the fucking boots to him because
Yeah,
that's how we are. That's hashtag troublemakers.
So I was curious because I'm like, Upstate Wrestling sounds really familiar, and I looked in my history.
They used to be NWA Upstate.
I visited them in 2019.
Oh, nice.
Right? And Nick Ando, I remember this is back when Colin Delaney had the breakfast bar and the I don't want to say bar. They had mocktails, so sir bartender. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in town for something. I think I'm going to the wrestling, and then she ended up being the ring announcer. I think it's like Nick Ando's wife or something like that.
That's
right?
awesome.
But because around this time, I was just finding whatever local wrestling show I could because I was just traveling by myself for some work. Also, guys, Spider-Man showed up. He was putting the ring together.
Hell yes.
I'm like, what the hell's going on here? What is Spider-Man
I'm sure
doing?
if Champion sees this, he's going to tell me later what the story is behind Ring Crew Spider-Man.
Yes, Ring Crew Spider-Man.
Because there's always a story.
Because I'm just like, what is happening here? Why was Spider-Man's tightening the ropes? And it's I'm sure it's somebody they didn't want to see doing that. So hey, you get short staff. So I get it. You don't want to see your main event person going out and tightening the ropes.
Sure, absolutely.
Kayfabe it.
And you gotta,
And then and the kid's like Spider-Man.
Hey,
sell the merch, sell the pictures, $10 a pop.
One of the things about indie wrestling that people have to understand is sometimes your heavyweight champ is helping set up that ring.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And look, none of us are. I learned this in Japan when I was over in Japan wrestling for DDT. One of the I want to say it was the first Cork and Hall show. Shirley Doe and I are there, and we're watching them start to set up, and they're carrying boards out and stuff like that. And I see Sanshiro Takagi, the owner of the company, put on a fucking bandana and then go grab boards and start the thing. And I turned to I turned to Shirley Doe, and Doe and I looked at each other and we were like, we better go help set up. Now they tried to stop us. Oh no, you're guests. Like blah blah blah. We did not. We were like, no. Like we're gonna help, and we helped set up. You know, because like I mean that's the thing, man. With these shows that are all hands on deck, it's like a family affair. Like look, I'm not telling anything that all you guys that are indie wrestlers watching this already know, but like one of the quickest ways to ingratiate yourself to a promotion is to help out. You know.
Sorry to laugh during that, but partner said, "Riz, did you thigh slap when you did that with Jack Vaughn?"
Of course I did.
Yeah, there you go.
I cannot find the picture. There was at one of the Rise shows, someone had slapped their thigh so hard on a kick, like there was like a bruise in that shape of a handprint, and I got a picture of it, and I've been meaning to send it to Jack Vaughn, but I can't find it in my. I have like 5,000 photos.
That'd be
on
the
my phone.
perfect thing to send them to,
right? I was like, you're not going to believe this one.
Oh,
like
man.
it's crazy.
I love that shit.
And speaking of Rise Wrestling, this Saturday, Uniontown, I'll be wrestling the Master of the Canvas, Sebastian. You can find those promos up on YouTube. That guy is a little unhinged. So
is that the guy from the Clearfield shows?
What's that?
Is that the guy from the Clearfield shows?
He's what was it? He wrestled at APWF. He wrestles at Exodus.
Oh, that's Sebastian. Okay.
Yes.
So I forgot. Wow. How did the painter guy? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Jack
he's
Bob
amazing.
Ross.
I don't know what clicked because I'm still thinking old school. There's a guy named Sebastian that was always at the Clearfield shows, and he was like local up there in middle Pennsylvania or something. So very different. And they would only book him in Clearfield for some, he was a local guy, I guess. So, but anyways, excuse me. No, Sebastian NWA, he's awesome, actually. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. The like this is a guy I've been wanting to work with. I think we're gonna put on a hell of a show. I mean, top to bottom, Rise were kicking ass. So people get out there. Other things going on. Let's see what else is going on.
Are you part of this thing this Saturday afternoon?
Probably not, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Maybe via Skype or something.
Oh, yes.
Is that happening? Okay.
So this is, dude, they are going to get the best experience ever. Yeah, that.
Sangawa Project.
I love that I didn't, but did know what you were talking about.
I keep forgetting what the name is.
Me too.
So I'm streaming this.
Yes.
You are apparently coming in over Zoom, I understand.
You understand where it's going to be from?
From like backstage at Rise or something? No. From your shop?
No.
Where are you going?
We're going to be driving back from Tennessee.
Shit. Oh God, this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Sorry. Technically, this is a nightmare.
I will be Skyping in from my smartphone
in
a car with Kane and Christopher and Cowpoke Paul.
Oh my God. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to lay some technical ground rules for this one. Well, okay, I'm gonna be streaming it however this goes. But I understand Beastman is also going to be a part of this.
Okay.
On the panel in person. So if your connection drops, he won't be stuck there by himself. We got Beastman. But anyways, so the idea is, and I want to make sure I get this right. I did not get where we're streaming to. Obviously, when this goes up, I'll stream it on our outlets on Wrestling Mayhem Show because it's pretty cool. So this is a Japanese culture conference happening at the Doubletree downtown Pittsburgh.
It's part of TekoshiCon, right?
Techo?
Is it part of Techo?
I think there's some. I don't know if it's part of Techo. Might be some of the same people. This is by the Pittsburgh Japanese Culture Society.
Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I just agreed to do it. Ignore everything I said. Maybe it's not a part of Techo.
I think there's some crossover DNA with Techo because it's Japanese culture.
Okay.
There is some anime voice actors that are going to be a part of this thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's.
I thought it had some. Like I said, I thought it had some relation to that somehow.
There's there's some cosplay action and stuff going on.
So probably at least same people who would go are gonna. It's the same audience.
Yeah, exactly. Antoine Scott is going to be presiding over the panel, and basically, I've had some conversation with the last couple of weeks, and we're going to have to get him on the show here. Rev actually connected me with him.
Rev connected me with them too.
And they're trying to bring wrestling culture to the Japanese conference. That's why you're there. That's why Beastman is there, having toured Japan and been part of that situation. So you have immersed in the culture and a different angle of it than they probably talk about in most cases.
Oh, so, the weirdest angle.
Yeah, the weirdest angle. Yeah, probably actually. So I think they're booked for about.
Tell us about all the tourist things you didn't do because you were desperate to save every penny and just
sleeping on the floor at the dojo and setting up the ring, even though you're a guest, and all that kind of stuff.
And going to like occupying your time with internet cafes and arcades because they're cheap.
There you go. But yeah, no,
I played 1 million claw machines though. I won a lot of claw. My wife got like 30 useless stuffed thingies that I brought from claw machines.
And of course we have to obligatory mention you're the first. How does it say the first
guy Jin or I'll do Jim LaMotta.
Okay.
First guy Jin or foreign wrestler to win the DDT Pro.
That's a fucking journalist right there.
That's right.
That's a journalist.
You know, I love LaMotta because it is literally my music hits. I get about 2 steps out of the curtain, that line every match. And here's the thing. I am not shitting on it. I'm telling you, LaMotta do it every time. Mm-hmm. You know,
I will still put this on. He's the most underrated announcer in Pittsburgh, and if you have him on your show is automatically more professional sounding than it would have been without.
LaMotta's a great 100%.
Guy. Yes, every single show he's on.
Also, he popped me because we were making jokes about Bret Hart's greatest promo, the El Dandy promo. Who are you to doubt El Dandy? And he was like, at one point in commentary, he referred to me as a jam-up guy.
Jam-up guy? What does that mean?
It's a crazy thing that Bret Hart said when they were shitting on El Dandy.
Okay.
Like, you know, what was it? What's his name? Oh my God, I can't believe
Okerlund?
Okerlund, yeah. Mean Gene was like, oh, I mean, El Dandy is El Dandy's a great wrestler, but he's a cruiserweight. He weighs like 50 pounds less. And Bret Hart interrupts him. He's like, let me tell you something. Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Let me tell you, El Dandy is a jam-up guy. Whatever the hell that means.
Fuck.
Like his promos in WCW were way better than his promos in WWE.
Well, everybody, I think it was one of those things where people had shit on him about promos, and like it must have gotten his craw because his personality really came out in those WCW promos. They're hilarious.
Because he didn't give a shit anymore. It was I don't have any.
Yeah, also he's seeing what's going on around him. Yeah, absolutely.
Who are
I got screwed. It's fine.
I still think "Who are you to doubt El Dandy" is one of the greatest
amazing
wrestling lines ever.
God, I can't find Jim LaMotta's got a new podcast, but he posts so much I can't fucking find it.
Can I give you like I do want to talk about myself more because I love doing that.
Yeah, sure.
But can I tell you something?
It was a night off for me.
Here's a hidden secret of wrestling, kids. You know who had one of the best worked punches in wrestling? Because we always talk about those good punches. Not a brawler at all. You know who had a great worked punch? El fucking Dandy. One of the best work punches I've ever seen in my life. Go back and watch and tell me I'm wrong. Like, just saying. Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Follow Jim LaMotta. He has a podcast that I want to promote, and I will in the future.
And LaMotta writes articles for 411 Wrestling. He's a completely immersed in the culture.
Is it 411? I thought it was PW Mania.
Was it? Oh shit! It is PW.
Or Ponderings.
It is PW.
Wait, where's
I'm
the
an
Ponderings?
idiot.
Shit, I fucked it up.
I can't plug anybody but myself because I don't know anybody's shit.
That's okay. I don't even know your fucking name, dude.
It's what is it? Is it? Yeah, it's PW Mania is what I meant. I'm sorry.
Where's the Ponderings? I can't remember.
Oh my God, we're gonna look at it.
I'm not even drunk.
I'm trying to find it on his page.
No, you're right. It's PW Mania. I'm sorry, LaMotta.
PW
I'm trying, LaMotta. I'm trying to plug you, but failing.
Listen, it's been a long day.
But my point is,
while you guys are doing this, I'm doing the thing where I take like almost an hour to make an extremely rudimentary meme because I like don't know how to do it. So I'm listening.
Is this
going to
be like your monster?
Absolutely, just
is this going to be like your Monsters Inc. last week with Beastman?
I like that one.
You saw that one?
That was a good one.
I want to see if I can pull it up real quick. It was the what was it? Boo and Sully and intern John is Boo, and Sully is like holding you out there, you know.
But LaMotta gets around. He works in a number of different companies in the area. Rise, he also does great work for RWA, where I'm feuding with Super Hentai. And I'll be. I got a lot of RWA stuff coming up too. Two of the, like I said, just 2 banger shows in the area. Pit Fight, yes. Here's the meme for you guys on video, by the way, if you want to check that out.
Pit Fight. We're actually have the Pit Fight kids on again. John's actually a Pitt student in the main campus, but this with the Pitt University of Pitt Greensburg. I don't even know what year they're on for this right now. So, but I did see they do have a rematch with Gianni and Andrew Palace on there.
Yeah,
that happened at the last Big 880 show, and it was really good. Again, different side of I know Palace is recovering from an injury last I knew. I didn't see. I haven't seen what happened. Well, okay, I know somebody told me about what happened injury wise. But I don't know. Like, I didn't see how it happened or anything like that.
The good news is this.
So,
Palace is obviously he's like much younger than me. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
Like dislocated shoulders usually, in my opinion, quite a scary injury. I had a good friend from back in my MMA days that had his shoulder dislocated a number of times, and it just unfortunately it's one of those things where the first time you have it, but I think he's going to recover fine. And Palace is a dynamite worker. He'll make it work.
Absolutely. So good stuff there. So well. I think we'll get into what we learned here shortly, but first I want to give a shout out to our friends. I know, Glenn, you had a little bit of this during the break. Our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, sliceonbroadway.com. Helped feed us here in the studio for Royal Rumble, I know, on Saturday as well. They know the order. But good to see them here. A Pittsburgh original has been expanding ever since we saw them. The original is right down the street here next to Tim's Corner Shop, which is also a Slice on Broadway enterprise, actually. Great sandwiches there, by the way, if you're in town and want to grab some stuff there. So, but yeah, go check them out, sliceonbroadway.com if you're in the Pittsburgh area. Multiple locations all around, sometimes right in the vicinity of a Taco Mania wrestling. So I think that's coming back. I presume, I don't know if they're coming back to South Side because I know they did North Side last year as well. So I'm curious to see when that information comes out, but I do believe that's coming around again. I think I heard through the grapevine. Anyways, it's time to go around chat room, you too, and we'll keep an eye out for that on the other platforms too. What did you learn from wrestling this week, Glenn? I think you said you already had one lined up.
Oh, don't go to me first.
Okay.
No, what did I like?
Okay, then Riz,
yeah,
what did you
else.
teach? What else did you teach Jack Vaughn this week?
What did I teach? What?
Jack Vaughn.
So I learned going back just a little bit ago to Pit Fight. I learned I can't escape a sexy talented dudes versus Gambino.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
Fight at that place.
There's Gambino family and sexy talented dudes. You're saying, yeah. We saw this. We saw this come up in the feed.
Yeah.
It's semi STDs. It's it's a chest flexor with what are they, the Highway Outlaws? Jason Tyler and Jamie Jamison, I think they're called now.
Yes, though I'm not sure even that is still a thing.
Yeah. Paul Atlas is in this match. I didn't realize.
Paul Atlas is fighting.
Paul Atlas, Marshall Gambino, and Stevie LaBelle.
With
my question is, where is Xander Gabriel?
I don't know. He'll probably be at ringside. Emily will be out there. You never know what's going to happen. And of course, that means this is going to happen again. That is the response as Emily D, who we know as a fellow employee of IndyWrestling.us videography team previously before getting into wrestling, and that is the reaction as she is suffocating chest flexor with a plastic bag.
Oh yes,
Months before John Moxley made it hip.
Yeah, like during that match, during that show, I'm looking down at the floor, and I'm like, there's a bag right next to me. It's empty. And I'm like, hey, what's this bag for? And I'm like, I think I asked you, Sorg. I'm like, what is this bag for? Like,
and I'm doing the work, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're doing a show.
Is somebody bringing?
Why do you care about a bag?
Because it was one of those. It was fine wine and good spirits. So I'm like, is somebody bringing like wine to a school show? Like, this is interesting.
Okay, well, that first of all, that's not that uncommon, but no,
it's not uncommon.
Yeah, I've seen some weird things at high school shows. Remember when the guy Sniper showed up at a high school game, a high school show, and we're like, "Is this okay?"
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, like I'm like, why is this on my side? And then it happened, and I'm like, oh shit! And that face happened. And when I cropped everything out to get my face, but in the background you see Sorg, like doing, like his hands are up. You see you see Tony Kincaid like like hiding. Like it's just one of it's. God, they're gonna top themselves this year.
2 plastic bags, probably. I'm trying to find your original photo of that. Oh, wait. Oh, actually, here is the original photo for you guys.
Oh, Jesus. There we go.
Oh, that's the... Okay, so it wasn't you. It was the lady...
Look at this girl.
Yeah. That was...
She is stoked.
She's like, yes, murder.
Go back for a minute. Go back. I like Jesse's
Jesse
reaction.
the Mark is concerned.
Right.
That's Tony Kincaid with his hands over his face. That's one of the other bookers on the right there.
Kid in the left corner looks horrified.
Yeah.
He looks like he's that's it. It's all like
maybe Ava.
I'm just gonna change my hair now.
But like that kid looks like looks like he's witnessing a literal murder.
Yeah, there you go.
Dombrowski's just professional as always.
Oh,
Dombrowski's like, I've seen some shit. I don't know.
Dombrowski knows a lot about plastic bags when he brought that 2 pieces of white bread in a plastic bag on that road trip that he swears to God he didn't do, but he did. And that was all he ate for the entire road trip.
I'll hear about that. That Mercedes puppet was everything. I learned a couple things this week, Dave Potter. First, yeet. Second, we need more ventriloquist wrestling with Harley Cameron. Third, people really missed Alexa and the shout out to the Fiend. Okay, well, let's take that in order. Yes, Yeet. We talked about Yeet a lot. Did you see the puppet? Did you see the Mercedes puppet?
I sure did.
The best shit.
I sure did.
Harley Cameron is. I've been saying this lately. This is my like Harley Cameron is the R-Truth of AEW.
Yep.
She's just absolutely ridiculous. She's going to be put in any situation to make fucking gold out of it. Multi-talented. She was on stage performing with Chris Jericho over the weekend as well.
Nice. What is it? The Jericho Cruise was this weekend.
Yeah, Jericho Cruise was this weekend.
I saw some clips from it. There's some neat stuff going on there.
It's always
hashtag hire Glenn. Let's go.
Hashtag
Put
Glenn
me on that cruise.
Hashtag Glenn on a boat.
Glenn on a boat.
Yeah.
What's better than Glenn on land?
Glenn
on a boat.
But not Glenn on a cage.
What's that?
Or a cave. Not Glenn
on a cave or on like a really tall building.
On a ladder.
I'm top ropes high as I want to go.
Yeah.
I still listen. I haven't been on a cruise, but my mind is like, man, Haunted Mansion themed bar seems really cool. Oh, it's on the cruise. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And it's like I feel like being on a cruise, trapped in the middle of the ocean with a boat full of wrestlers and wrestling fans is a terrible idea.
Look, man,
so long as I get paid. End well. This does not feel like it's going to end well. It's dangerous enough on land, so
you're not. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
It's not what I learned, but just like I don't I love
There's
seeing
no
it.
escape from the wrestling.
I appreciate that it exists. I love the concept of it. I love the fun stuff that comes from it. I love that AEW did a show from it one time. You know, like they did a Dynamite that they pre-taped and put out from it, right? Which was like that's awesome. That was different. That was very spring break of them.
And it's kind of
yeah.
like the one thing that AEW can keep doing to try, like, once again, I think that no, I don't give a crap about the rating stuff. I want wrestling. Wrestling needs to be good so that we can all get jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I want AEW to exist. I hate this AEW WWE like war shit. But
that's that part of the internet we were talking about before.
Yeah, the one thing that AEW, I think, like, and I'm not here to give Tony Khan advice. I'm here to get hired by Tony Khan.
Yay!
Hire Glenn, hashtag. But the the one thing I would say is that the more things that they do like I said, don't try to copy the WWE recipe. Do your own thing, because that's how you're going to stand out. You have to be something for a whole different set of viewers.
Mm-hmm.
But it does remind me, like, what I was saying before about kind of what I learned, but it really isn't what I learned, but it's what was reinforced. It's been a theme of a couple things we talked about, from Jean-Paul to just talking about promos and stuff like that. Tony Storm, like, with her amazing promo against Mariah May, like that you break the words down and it's ludicrous, the shit she's saying. It's totally crazy. But it's said with such complete earnestness, and I felt something. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I felt like when she said that crazy line about, like, you came from my wound and I'll stuff you back up in there and spit out. But she said it with absolute earnestness, not in a funny way.
Yeah.
Like, in like a serious.
It's funny she said it, but she's not funny saying.
If I typed it out for you, you'd laugh.
Yeah.
But if you watch the promo, you're like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You're just in awe.
Expert at delivery.
And that I think one thing that I'm always having reinforced for me in terms of what I learned from wrestling this week is you can say anything as long as you say it with absolute earnestness.
Absolutely.
And can I point out one thing real quick? This is go back on what I mentioned before. Oh nope, wrong guy.
What the hell? Wait! Why you got a buff eagle?
What was that?
Wait! Go back to that thing.
What in the furry was that?
I want to actually talk about this for a minute.
What is this?
This was made by AI.
Okay.
What is going on?
What a
reveal.
Sean, make sure you screen cap and tweet this.
What a reveal. What is this?
Here, I'm gonna get out of the way here.
You're about to tell us some secrets.
So, one of the professors over at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
I can't even get my glasses back on.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
Sent us out when the school was back open.
Okay.
Not sure why.
Okay.
And I was trying to pull up.
Wait.
I'll get back here.
Wait, is that the story?
That's the story.
That's the story.
Okay.
Well,
And
there's got to be more, right?
You haven't gone to IUP for 10 years. Why do you have that?
I don't know. I pulled it up and it was on.
Yo, you got the wildest picture folder, man.
I do. I do.
I feel like something was revealed tonight.
It was.
Show.
And
you know what? We support you in whatever you're going through. Just whatever that is. I don't have to understand this, but I have to respect it.
Sorg does.
Just
okay, Sorg. Yeah, I know Sorg does.
I didn't say anything. Sorg does.
Yeah.
You know, look, here's the worst part is I never got around to asking you if the Riz. Did you have the Riz thing before the Rizzler?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When is the lawsuit happen?
His name is literally no. His name is literally his last name is RZA.
Yeah.
Wait, like the member of
Yeah,
like
RIZZA.
like the Wu-Tang Clan
Yeah, we just
guy?
doxed the shit out of him, but yeah.
So anyway, if you're into Hawks,
Riz plays games on the social media.
there you go.
There you go.
Okay, what was the point you were trying to make before that segue?
To show, and I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Hopefully, not do it because I have a different.
I'm so scared of what the hell he's going to pull.
Yeah,
up
yeah.
next.
What's the intentional
You better,
thing now?
you better have the censor.
Like it's not
button
good. I
ready.
mean, okay.
So here's Scott Nash.
Yo, why is Christian Cage wearing a Nash outfit?
Dude, they should call that Nash at home.
Oh.
Yeah, like it.
We have Nash at home, kids.
Like I was watching a video of this.
Okay. Okay.
By the way, WXO is one of the worst 2-episode wrestling federations out.
Oh, we obviously need to watch it then.
Yeah, we do need to watch this.
Dude, that looks like okay. So it looks like somebody. It doesn't look like a real picture.
God,
does.
It looks like somebody in a bad Kevin Nash cosplay, but they stuck Jesse Ventura's face on it in a blonde wig.
Wait a minute. WXO was a 2000 era Ted DiBiase promotion.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh, is this the Jesus one?
I don't know.
And the first episode had Dan Severn on it.
Hold up. I love Dan Severn.
Yeah,
sure.
Like that was the only star they had.
I mean, he's showing you the range.
Oh, okay.
Is what's happening.
I hope Scott Nash didn't wrestle Dan Severn. I feel like Dan Severn would pull his head off.
Wrestled
There's
Barry Darso.
There's a Wrestle Crap article on this.
Scott Nash wrestled Barry Darso for real?
Jeez.
No, wait, was it?
Dude, I love Barry Darso.
I think it was Barry.
crazy.
Yo, Stan Lane and Chris Cruz were your commentators for this show?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
Adam
Pierce?
as bad as you think.
Is John Zandig in it, or are they just putting the meme out there?
John Zandig is in the.
Oh God,
was
he
in the
is.
first
Eric
match.
Watson Zandig
versus
versus
look at it.
Tommy Rogers and Adam Pierce, your draw general manager.
I love that he's John Jesus. By the way, speaking of promos with earnestness, can we all come to terms with the fact that promo is actually? Have you ever watched the promo? It's entirely the Jesus promo.
I don't think it's not entirely, no.
It's actually great. I'm
It
dead
is.
serious. I'm not being ironic. It's
Like,
really
it
good.
actually takes what you were talking about with like that whole aspect of
Look,
in
Zandig,
that moment.
yeah, love him or hate him. It's like that promo is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. It's
Love
a
it.
really I don't know. Like, you know, once again, I guess this is revealing my terrible taste in wrestling, but I adore that promo.
But
Unironically.
see him doing like almost like chain wrestling in that tag match is it's something.
What are you, blind? That's a line from the promo.
I love
Yeah.
it. I think a couple notes from the thing. Small thing, for instance, we mentioned the Cruise. Tina learned Will Ospreay could be a member of MXM collection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, there's a strutting in the shorts that was going around, right? And
His gear looked weird as hell on that show.
yeah, well, yeah, I think he was just wearing like some surf shorts or something,
Oh,
right? Like
well,
as
there you
part
go.
of it, what he was doing, and they were doing a strut off because MXM collection, right? Also, and Curryman has announced his retirement
Yes.
as of
and
the cruise.
The weird. So
Weird.
I want to point out
Go ahead, yeah.
because I saw a picture. It was Curryman was on the cruise as well as Christopher Daniels.
You know what's weird is the
Together.
proximity of those announcements of retirement too. That's
Very
crazy.
curious.
Yeah,
very
like-
curious.
Yeah, it's strange.
But they're not the same person though, because there's a picture of them together.
Is there a
And it's-
rumor
okay.
that they were?
I've heard situations.
Fucking internet.
Could yeah.
know,
This is my problem with the
Yeah,
internet wrestling
yeah,
media. They're
yeah.
just always
IWC
throwing dirt
bullshit.
around.
Trust anything, you
You know
know?
what I mean?
Jeez, reliable sources, guys.
Let those two men live their lives.
You know what? Take that story. We talked about an Awesome Cast about an AI, fake news detector at Blackbird.ai. We'll plug that in there and see what it says.
That's what I'm
By
saying.
the way,
There you
the Curryman TNA video game storyline is batshit crazy.
On what?
The TNA, it's
The one on 360? I have a copy of it.
let me see it is
We need to get into
TNA.
that. All right, let's get into the
Curryman.
Patreon. We're going along
Yeah.
on this one. Guys, Big Boss Glenn Jacob, he's on Instagram. Fuck
Don't-
everything else.
You did it again.
God, fuck.
Glenn Jacobs.
I can't tell when you're doing it
The
as a
final-
meme and when you're doing it for real.
Glenn
The
Spector.
final boss, Glenn Jacobs.
Final boss, Glenn Jacob Spector.
How are they going to know which Glenn to hire with Hire Glenn now?
Big Boss.
Kane's going to get all these booking opportunities.
Big Boss Glenn Spector. Wonder Man Glenn Spector. There you go. Now that's how I get it.
There we go.
There you go. On social media, on Instagram, of course. See all the
Please,
clips.
guys, hold up.
Learn how to do an entrance.
I want you to. I'm gonna reach my hand out to the screen. I want you to reach your hand out. And
touch the screen.
Touch the screen with me.
Riz has got you. Riz has got you.
Good.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you,
My
Riz.
camera's there.
I want everybody out there in internet TV land to reach out. Touch Glenn Spector's hand. Okay, say it with me.
Ready?
Hire Glenn, and then
Hire
what
Glenn.
I want you to do,
Hire
get that
Glenn.
eagle picture out of here, you lunatic. All right, I want you to touch my hand on the screen. All right. And then I want you to because this works for those telepreachers and stuff, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. The other thing I'd really like you to do, my biggest social media following right now is on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'd like you to go to Instagram right now. Go to Instagram.com or however they say it. However those kids say it.
HTTP.
I want you to go to Instagram.com.
/Instagram.
All right.
Instagram.com.
I want you to find Glenn Spector on there. I want you to click that follow button for me. Click that follow button for me. All right. And there it is. Click that follow button for me. Here's the thing. I need to have at least, I'm so close to 1,000 followers. And I know the second I have 1,000 followers, I'm going to become a real boy. Billy Corgan's going to call me and give me a job. All right. I need you to help me out here. So reach out, touch that screen, and then click follow on that Instagram button. Thank you.
Man, I wish you would have slipped in. Go to patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show as well.
And then afterwards, I need you to go to patreon.com/
Wrestling
Mayhem Show.
Yes.
And I need you to touch that button
Yeah.
and support them. What is it? What's the monthly subscription?
Whatever you want.
Oh, the monthly subscription is whatever you want.
$1 a month.
$1 a month. Guys, $1 a month. My God, we spend more on a cup of coffee every day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get out there, get that good wrestling content.
That's right. And also shop.wrestlingmayhemshow.com where you can get cool threads like this if you're with me on video. Somebody, you gotta see it somewhere. The commercials out there on social too. Good stuff. Boxer shorts, stickers, whatever you want. T-shirts. We're gonna have to put a colored T-shirt on there for Bradley. I think we gotta see if that's out there.
Why don't you make a scarf for him too?
Mayhem Show scarf. Ooh, that is an idea.
Really good
That's a good idea. We'll see if they have it in stock over there. So there you go, and maybe underwear too. There you go. The Riz plays games on the rest of the social media.
Yes, I might actually be playing video games soon.
Are you going to join us on Sunday?
Yes, I will be joining you Sunday.
We have an NFL Blitz tournament happening. We're inviting some of our wrestler friends. Yes. We had a lot of the 880 crew here last year, and I know we got a few guys already in, and we're going to be building that up. Glenn, you're invited if you're available.
I will try to do better this
play
year.
The occasional video game.
Okay, we're going to be doing. I got new controllers after I realized they were all broken last year, and we played the N64 version. We're going to be doing NFL Blitz 2002 on the GameCube.
Well, I was around when it came out. So.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I was of video game playing age.
I think you might have been wrestling around that too.
As
right?
I was, yes, as was the style of the
time.
time.
There you go. Yeah, we played the original on N64 last year.
Yeah.
So I think Gianni won that, just like which was a precursor to him winning every secondary belt in Pittsburgh. So there you go, and one primary at least. So, but yeah, there you go. And thank you everybody out there and internet land following us here at 9 p.m. Again, Mayhem White Game is going to be a pre-tape next week at 9 p.m. And then the week after that, it will be one of those fun abbreviated remote shows that I'm going to plan out because I will be in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as I do twice a year on a Tuesday from a hotel room and on whatever internet we have on board. What are you shaking your head at me, man? What do you got? I got to get to work. This is how we afford this thing. No, Riz. Okay, all right. Somebody needs to do a match graphic of that eagle versus Glenn. Okay.
Am I wrestling that eagle? That eagle is jacked.
That's your pit fight match. That's
probably
This is your pit fight opponent right here.
There you go. Look at that. Do not do a test of strength with that. Do not test the strength with that.
So we're talking about video games, right? You want me to get super nerdy?
Yes.
You want to hold it for the Patreon?
If you want to. Yeah.
There you go. All right, we'll get to the nerdy stuff on the Patreon, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, intern John. And we'll see you guys next week. Mayhem out.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.